All right, so we are back, and Tyron Woodley, say what you will, he's a man of his word, and he got the Jake Paul tattoo. So Tyron Woodley got this tattoo on his middle finger, so at least he knows, like we all do, that he's completely f***ed himself here. I just can't believe he actually did it. Tattooing another man's name on his body that beat him in a boxing match, that has continued to clown him and his family and all these other things, said wild, disrespectful stuff, just so he can have another bag. It's kind of sad. And there's a couple reasons why I say that, because Tyron has done something that he doesn't know guarantees him a rematch. Like, this was not in writing. This was a handshake bet. And if you trusted Jake Paul to be a man of his word, you're out of your fucking mind. This is the same guy that blew up on YouTube faking videos. Like everybody else in that generation of YouTube, none of it was real. There was zero truth behind it. So when Jake says, yeah, let's do a tattoo bet, you think that he's gonna honor this rematch just because he said he would. No. Meanwhile, he's talking to Tommy Fury about a fight. He's declined 2 offers. He's talking to Vitor Belfort, talking to Anderson Silva. He could be talking to your fucking bowling alley attendant at your local circus pin, cleaning people's shoes for him before they go and throw the ball down the lanes. It doesn't matter, because the point is, it's not fucking Tyron. Jake has no interest in that rematch, and for good reason. Tyron probably has a better showing the second time around, and if I'm Jake, I wouldn't have a lot of interest in going back in there and taking that risk once again after he already did it. And another thing that was just confusing about this tattoo is that Tyron put, I love Jake Paul as the tattoo. That was supposed to be the bet, but he wrote the love part in like pen or some kind of marker. Listen, I understand he didn't want to put the full I love Jake Paul on his finger, but now it just says I Jake Paul. Like, what's he gonna put in that space that he removed love from? Is it just gonna say I Jake Paul? I hate Jake Paul? That's not gonna look any better. You hate another man so much that you tattooed it on your finger. I am Jake Paul? Like, we just get to the point where Tyron chases this fight so much that he just becomes Jake. I mean, we've already started that transformation. He told Dan Hardy on Twitter that he was doing things that Dan Hardy could never do because he was trending for getting Jake Paul tattooed on his finger. I don't know what the little phrase that you can put in the middle that's gonna make that seem cool at any point. Like, how are you going to look at anybody, wave at them, and have something that says Jake Paul on that same hand? You better start waving with the back John Cena style so no one ever sees that shit. Now listen, I could be wrong, right? I could just be out of my mind, even though I've heard from people in Jake's camp saying that that is not a fight that they want. They're gonna go and look for the Tommy fight or somebody else. That's stuff I personally heard, but, you know, maybe I'm wrong. You know what? I'm not Jake Paul himself, so let's hear from Jake Paul himself. Apparently, he has a response to Tyron getting this tattoo, so let's take a look, man.
No way did a grown-ass man just get a tattoo that says, I love Jake Paul.
Like, look at that fucking tattoo. It looks like a middle schooler who is bored in the middle of math class, drawing one of those S's that has like double featured layers and like 3D render. You guys know what I'm talking about. You all did it. I don't know what the name of it was, but that's the type of font we're looking at. This shit looks terrible.
This is my official response to Tyron Woodley getting the tattoo.
What is this? Is this some fucking magic trick? And why is Jake's couch got fishnets on it? This some freaky shit going down right now. I don't know what is happening. Okay. I love you too. This is the response that I knew Tyron would get.
Can I grab those cheeks now, Poppy?
Yo! There it is, man. There it is. Of course Jake was gonna respond like this. You guys know this man is the trolliest of all trolls. And if you guys are reading this the same way I am, I see this as Jake basically saying, F you, you're not getting this rematch. Like, he's just not gonna give it to him. So now you have Tyron Woodley with a I wipe away the marker, Jake Paul tattoo on his finger. He can't wave like a normal human being. Say he's in public with his girl, they want to hold hands. She's got to interlock with Jake Paul, be caressing up next to his name, all because Tyron Woodley defaced his own palm in the name of a rematch that he's not gonna fucking get. It's that simple, guys. Tyron got swindled here. He got played. He doesn't want the rematch with Tyron because, listen, that's a tough fight. We saw that the first time. Yes, Jake won a majority of the rounds, but they weren't easy rounds for him to win, and Tyron just did not take advantage of the opportunity in front of him. And it's easy for me to say, right? It's easy for me to sit here and be like, oh, Tyron should have won. He should have done this, should have done that. That's easy for me to say. But you know what's fucking easier for me to say? Tyron should not have gotten this tattoo. You cannot beat Jake at his own game. You can't play the game with Jake. You have to play a different game. This is who Jake is. Like, he is this troll. He is the best at doing this. but it's what Tyron's trying to be. It's not Tyron. This is not who he is. And you cannot beat Jake at this game. Unless you're just one of those people on Twitter that types ratio plus you fell off plus didn't ask and all that other bullshit. And you happen to have the brain function of a 15 to 13-year-old. Then you might have a chance at playing Jake's game with him. But if not, don't even play the game. The only thing that is now set in stone is not a fight between Tyron and Jake because there was no writing that guaranteed a rematch on Tyron's side. Jake had a guaranteed rematch if he lost. Tyron, I have no idea why he didn't put it in his contract. Because if Jake's gonna have it, why shouldn't Tyron? If you really wanted that bag, write in an automatic rematch clause. Because instead, the only thing set in stone and the only thing that Tyron wrote is I blank Jake Paul. So yeah, I'm piling on a little bit on Tyron here and I'm poking some fun at him. Listen, he got paid a shit ton of money. He wins in that respect, and I'm glad that Tyron got his money. As a fan of his, and have been for a very long time, Tyron, I am so glad that you got paid whatever the final number was, multiple millions, hopefully. But I have to say, this is a terrible look. By next week, people are going to forget that Tyron even got this damn tattoo. Everyone is going to move on. We're going to be talking about Jake versus Tommy or whoever else next, and everyone's going to forget about this except Tyron Woodley, who's going to be left with a tattoo on his finger that says, I blank Jake Paul, and the word in the middle will not be rematch or anything that he wants it to say. I think this is a massive L for Tyron. Listen, I'm glad he got paid in the fight, and I'm hoping that it was so much money that he never has to fight again. But he's got to get that tattoo removed. But I guess as we leave off, the questions that we have are simple. Why in the hell did Tyron get this tattoo knowing good and well that Jake Paul's not going to give him this rematch? There was no contractual agreement for him to get an immediate rematch. It was done as Jake's idea of mental warfare just to get a little bit more into your head, and sure enough, it's manifested on your fucking finger. But I'll ask you guys as we leave off, what do you guys think of the tattoo? Is it something that's going to help Tyron? Or as I said, is everyone going to move on, go about their lives? Jake's going to do his next fight. The news cycle just keeps on turning. I think I have the answers to this, which Tyron should have had a week ago when he was thinking of doing this in the first place, which is absolutely not. But as the months keep going and Jake continues to look for another opponent, maybe, just maybe, Tyron Woodley has another shot at this. I don't think so, but I guess we'll find out.